Happy Mother's Day to all of the mamas out there, whether your babies are earthside, heavenside, or in your heart. I hope that you are having a wonderful day and you're getting showered with all of the love that you deserve. So we're going to do things a little bit differently on this live today. I'm not just going to go through a wig review and call it a day. I thought it would be nice in honor of Mother's Day if we chatted about what it looks like raising kids and wearing alternative hair and wigs and dealing with hair loss. And that's going to look different amongst different family dynamics, amongst different age ranges. But I thought it would be fun to have a little chat about just kind of how I've approached dealing with hair loss and wearing wigs around my children. So before we do that, I'm going to show you two of my favorite synthetic wigs today. So I'll start off with the one that's on my head already. This wig is absolutely one of my all-time favorites. This is Raquel Welch's Mesmerized. It's in the color Shaded Sand. And it took me a while to get this particular style. I tend to shy away from longer synthetics, but this one has not disappointed. And this color, I've been dying to get my hands on, and it definitely did not disappoint. So I'm somebody that gravitates to very neutral, cool, ashy blondes. So in the Raquel Welch line, Shaded Biscuit and Shaded Ice Latte Macchiato have always stolen the show for me. Shaded Ice Latte Macchiato was my all-time favorite until I got this blonde. And it just blew me away. It is the perfect, just beachy, natural, sandy, sun-kissed blonde. And what I love about this particular color is that it looks so incredible on so many different skin tones. So if you have the opportunity and you're looking for a really good blonde, if you have the opportunity to get your hands on this color, Shaded Sand, you won't be disappointed. It's absolutely stunning. And this particular wig, I have absolutely loved. It's just so feminine and effortless and classic. It reminds me of if you ever had really great experiences at the hair salon, which I was never one of those people, but it just reminds me of like going to the hair salon and getting a fresh blowout and a fresh color and just walking out feeling like $1,000,000. That's what this feels like to me. It's just throw on and go, so beautiful. I love the long kind of side swept bangs that they have on it. It's fully hand-dyed, so you have full styling flexibility. You don't have to worry about showing any wefts when you're putting it half up. It is just a really beautiful piece. So if you want to grab Raquel Welch's Mesmerized in Shaded Sand or any other color, go to Wigs.com. You can use my discount code Kristyna25. That's Kristyna, Kristyna25 to save a little money. We always love to save money. So before we look at my second wig, which I have sitting over here, which is my second all-time favorite synthetic, let's chat a little bit, right? So a little background on me. I have been dealing with hair loss for about 20 years at this point due to my Sjogren's and my discoid lupus. I am about 10 years into wearing alternative hair of some form, whether that be halo extensions or clip-in extensions. And I'm about 2.5 years into my wig wearing journey. So I am a mother of 2 small children. My son Jackson is 5.5 and my daughter Blakely is 3. And really the catalyst to move me into wigs was the birth of my daughter. So I, like most women, I have struggled all of my life with horrible self-esteem, zero self-confidence. And frankly, the way that I talked about myself was so cruel. I always tell women, like, the things that we say about ourselves, we wouldn't say to our worst enemies, but yet we feel comfortable saying that to ourselves every single day. And after I had Blakely, there was something about having a daughter and realizing that I was going to be modeling self-love to her. I was going to be teaching her how she should treat herself. And the thought of my daughter standing in a mirror and looking at herself and feeling anything less than beautiful, whether it be because she has thin hair, thick hair, hair loss, different body type, whatever the case may be, it absolutely crushed me. And so that was a point in my life where I realized, like, I have got to do some work on myself. And for me, my hair loss had kind of progressed to the point where I could no longer hide the hair loss with halo extensions. I couldn't cover them up anymore with my hair. And so I decided to move full time into wigs. And it was a point where I was just like, I put on my first wig and I realized, like, I can have my dream hair. Like, this is hair that I could never grow on my own head with or without my autoimmune issues. And so it really was kind of a turning point for me in starting to love myself again. And not just because I had a wig on my head, but doing the hard things. And for me, that was showing up and putting myself out there and being vulnerable with regards to my hair loss and things that about myself that I was super insecure about. So I also am a saint artist on the side, in addition to my real life day job. In order to do that, I had to show up online to strangers with no makeup. And that was an incredibly vulnerable feeling as well. But this incredible thing happened when I started opening up to people around me and putting myself out there more with the things that I was the most insecure about. The more that I put out the things that I was the most insecure about, the less I was actually insecure about them. And that included my hair loss. That included showing up with no makeup. That included my body that has grown and given me two beautiful kids. I really started trying to retrain my brain on the things that I used to hate about myself. And it has not been an easy journey. It's been a very uncomfortable journey. But I can stand here today and say that I'm the most confident version of myself that I ever have been. And I hope that I can impart that on my daughter. So for me, the catalyst in my hair loss journey was my daughter, because I just wanted to be a good role model for her. And I never wanted her to feel like hair loss made her less than beautiful, because it doesn't make any of us less than beautiful. It's a superficial thing, right? And so with my son, it's been a little bit different. But just as women from a small age are fed these unattainable beauty standards, so are men. Men are also fed those same beauty standards in women and in partners. And so my method with my kids has always been transparency and honesty. So both of my kids know that I wear wigs. They see me with my bio hair out. They don't see me talking badly about my bio hair. They see me being very free with my wigs, changing up my wigs. And with my son, what I hope that I'm doing is raising a young man who is empathetic, who is understanding of what people are going through, and who looks beyond just the superficial skin deep stuff, whether that be in his friend group, whether that be with a partner in the future. I want him to know that what makes a woman beautiful, or what makes somebody beautiful, is not the amount of hair that's on their head. It's their heart, it's their mind, it's their soul, it's their intentions. And so that's just kind of been the driving force around how I've raised my two young small children. And what I will say is that raising young children, I feel like, is actually easier when you're dealing with hair loss, because they don't really know any different, right? Like this has all been normalized to them, which is great, because I get to raise a generation of kids that don't think that hair loss is weird, because it's been normalized for them. And that's how it should be, because hair loss, it is normal. A lot of women, over 50% of women, will deal with some form of hair loss at some point in their life, but we don't talk about it enough, and we feel shame about it when we shouldn't, because it's not something that's in our control, and it's not something that's abnormal. So that's kind of my thoughts on raising younger children. I will say, with raising younger children, you have to have a little bit of a thick skin, and you have to be ready for the stuff that comes out of their mouth. And it's not because they're being malicious, but there's a reason they say out of the mouths of babes, right? And that's because kids are they have no filter. They're very honest, and they just say what's on their mind. And so you have to be prepared that they're going to tell their friends probably that you're wearing wigs, and you have to be kind of prepared for those moments. There was a time where I was walking down the aisle at the grocery store with Jackson, and he was sitting in a grocery cart facing me, and he's just in a very playful mood. And I think I tickled his little side. And when I did that, he's like, "Mommy, I'm going to get your wig off your head." And he said it incredibly loud in a very crowded aisle at Trader Joe's. And I remember just laughing to myself, because I was just like, well, is what it is. Secret's out, I wear wigs. And so you just have to have that kind of thick skin prepared with little kids. Now with older kids, I obviously can't speak from experience, but I can tell you that this is the advice that I give women, because I've had multiple conversations with people that struggle opening up to their family or their loved ones or their older grown children. Because when they're older, one thing that you're going to deal with is a lot of times they don't like change. They know you for how you are, and they love you how you are. And so sometimes if we start wearing wigs, it's foreign to them and they can immediately shut down. And so my advice to women, and I actually had this conversation not too long ago with somebody who was struggling with opening up with her 2 older grown daughters who she was very close with. But my advice is always like, what an opportunity you have to A, show your kids that it's okay to be vulnerable, and B, show your kids how strong you are and that you can overcome this and that you're going to take steps to kind of reclaim your sense of self and your sense of beauty. Especially young daughters, right? If we can show them that no matter what life throws at you, like, you are strong enough to overcome it and it doesn't have to define you. Hair loss does not have to define you. So my advice is always going to be honesty and transparency with your family, and sit down and have a conversation with your spouse, with your grown kids, and just tell them what you're dealing with hair loss, how it's making you feel. Be raw with them about that and tell them that this is something that you're going to start doing. I'm going to start wearing wigs or toppers or whatever the case may be. Because I need to feel good about myself and I need your support in this. So I hope that we can do this together. But I just ask that you be, supportive of this decision, because it's not easy. And most times our kids just want us to be happy, right? They want us to be happy and present in their lives. And a lot of times with hair loss, it makes us retreat. So if this is something that can make you more comfortable being present in their life, then I don't see that as a bad thing. So that's my soapbox. That's my spiel. Hair loss stinks, right? It's never fun to go through. But I do think that we have pretty incredible opportunities with raising children to raise a generation that doesn't feel shame about it if they have to deal with it, whether it be our own kids or somebody in their friend circle. Just raising a generation of more kind, empathetic, tolerant people. That's always my goal. So let's look at my second wig that I absolutely love. So this was Raquel Welch's Mesmerized. So we are going to switch it up a little bit. Look at this crazy. We got some crazy grays just sticking straight up. This was Raquel Welch's Mesmerized, which I absolutely love. And then I'm going to show something completely opposite, okay? So you got Long and Blonde from Raquel Welch, and that was a heat-friendly synthetic. I failed to mention that. So Raquel Welch's Mesmerized is heat-friendly synthetic, so you can style it however you'd like. We're going to completely switch it up, though, and I'm going to go short brunette, and we're going to go regular, non-heat-friendly synthetic, and this is from Jon Renau, and this is Cameron Lite. So I love the cap on this. Before I try it on for you and show you how adorable this style is, let's look at the cap really quick because I love these features. It has a silicone nape, which is going to give you so much added extra security that wig's not going to ride up. It has polyurethane ear tabs, which I find so incredibly comfortable. This is also a 100% hand-tied base, and it's actually a very roomy and stretchy hand-tied base. This is hand-tied as well, but it does not have as much stretch as the Jon Renau Cameron Lite. So if you are somebody that has a larger, on the larger side of average or larger than average circumference, this may be a really great option for you because it is still very stretchy and roomy, which I really love. And it has a full ear-to-ear lace front, so you can style this however you'd like away from your face, which I really, really love. In just a moment for this color, because I absolutely am just head over heels in love with this brunette. This is called Mousse Kick. So let's go ahead and try this bad boy on. So like I said, super incredibly comfortable, roomy cap. I was just blown away because typically hand-tied caps fit a little bit more snug on me. And I was just blown away with how just comfortable and stretchy and roomy this particular cap was. So super comfortable. And you guys, I'm telling you, this is the perfect brunette for me, in my opinion. It's not too warm, but it's so rich and beautiful, and just, I absolutely love this. It's just a very natural brunette. So this is Jon Renau's Cameron Lite. Again, if you want to purchase this one, let me give you a little turnaround. If you want to purchase this one, go to Wigs.com, use discount code Kristyna25, save some money. But how cute is this? So we had a little something for my long blonde girls, a little something for my short brunettes. Comes in lots of different colors, so whatever color you'd like. 10 out of 10 recommend both of these. These are my two go-to synthetic wigs. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this. I hope that you have